Hi, I'm Gumpa, and this is my garage. We continue our series today on my favorite products. We're talking about the rubber mats that go in your car, specifically black rubber mats. Got some tips for you today. Going to share some of my favorite products. One of the things you'll notice whenever I fix up cars to give away, I'm always going to put nice rubber mats in them. They're just so great to help keep your car clean. So let's get to my favorite products. All right, first we've got the Black & Decker cordless flex vacuum cleaner. Runs for about $100, and it's going to be a little bit more expensive because it's cordless, but I'm telling you, cordless is the way to go. All the vacuums I talk about that I use are going to be cordless. This thing's super powerful. It's very easy just to grab and go. It sits on a charger. It always stays charged. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. So that's our product number one. All right, so many times when we talk about interior cleaning of any type, we're going to be talking about P&S Double Black Express Cleaner. $19 for 16 ounces, $30 for 32 ounces. It goes a long way. You can actually dilute it. I don't dilute it a lot, but you can dilute it. And you can use this on everything interior except glass. So yes, that includes your all-season mats. The key to this, whenever you're cleaning anything, are these little detail brushes, and for about 15 bucks you can get 5 of these. What you do when you spray this on is you agitate it with these detail brushes, and that's how it gets a really deep clean. And then you're just going to wipe it off with a microfiber rag. And this is from the Rag Company. Lots of different options out there. This is one of my favorites. They run about $5 a piece, but of course you can wash them, use them over and over and over. I do like the waffle weave pattern that does a great job catching dirt and grime and just getting it off the surface. All right, so these are kind of basic things. You may not have learned anything earth-shattering yet. But this next one, when you're dealing with black mats, this is awesome. This is a product by Renew Protect called Black, B-L-A-K, and it's a ceramic coating. You can use it on rubber, plastic, vinyl, or metal. So you're going to see this in some other videos. I use this a lot. It puts that ceramic coating on there, but what's key for mats is it's not slippery. So many of the coatings you try to put on rubber mats will make them slippery, and that's the last thing you want is, trying to get in the car and you're falling down or slipping. So this is a great product, and you can put it on with one of these microfiber applicators, and we'll link all this down below as we always do. These are pretty inexpensive, and they work great for putting black on. And you are going to want to use some disposable gloves whenever you work with black, because it's going to stain whatever it gets on, including your hands. All right, let's put this stuff in action, and let me show you how it actually works. All right, so the first thing you want to do is just vacuum up anything that's loose. Pretty basic, but let's get it done. The other thing, you see me sitting on a roller stool. This thing is clutch, and I'll post down below a couple of different price options. But talking about saving your back, there's so many times when you're working on a car and you need to be low. This really like it. And actually, we use this around the house for all kinds of projects. All right, so we got it vacuumed. Now we're going to spray it really good with the P&S, and then do that key step of agitating it with our brush. That's how you really get down in the nooks and crannies and start to get this thing clean. Be pretty generous with this. The other thing you can do when you're washing your car with your pressure washer is you can just take the mats out and hose them down really good with the pressure washer, then put your foam on them, hose them off with that. That can give you a good clean, or at least a good start. But this agitating, this is the thing that it really doesn't take long, but it just does such a great job really cleaning it. And you'll see in a second how so much of this comes off just be using the detail brush to agitate. And so if you're in the car doing any cleaning with the P&S, you always want to do this agitation, whether you're on the dash or leather seats. This is just a real key for getting it clean. Now, obviously, if you have your pressure washer handy and you want to just rinse it off with that, that's an easy way to do it. If you don't have a pressure washer or you just don't want to get it out, then just using your microfiber rag and wiping it down also works really, really well. And you can already see how it's getting out not just the dirt, but even the scuffs. I mean, this cleaner is so good. So it cleaned up really nice, and look, for a lot of situations, this is just fine. It may be tough for the camera to pick this up, but if you look real close, you can still see a little bit of staining, a few scuff marks. So this is where the black comes in, because it's going to get rid of all those. And it's also going to make it much easier to clean in the future, and much easier to get these scuffs and dirt marks up. All right, now it's time for our black. They advertise it as a once-a-year product. I have found that to be pretty true. It will last about a year before it needs to be reapplied. And this is very easy to put on. You're gonna saturate your pad pretty good. And really, you're just gonna rub it on there and let it stay, let it soak or sit for about 5 minutes, and then use a microfiber rag to get it off, and that's it. And what you'll notice as you're putting this on is it just really starts to cover up any scuffs and smudges it's putting. So the black component obviously is a color, so it's going to cover up stuff, and then the ceramic part is a protectant, and it just makes it hard for stuff to really stick to it, so it makes it much easier to clean. So I'll put a little bit more on here. Again, I have not used much at all, and you know, it's going to cover this whole mat. Make sure you get down in those crevices. That's why I like this applicator pad. It's very flexible, makes it easy to get down in those nooks and crannies. Probably don't want to go over your emblem, because it will kind of smear some black on there. And to get mats like this, you know, if you go on Amazon and just search for your car or SUV model, you can almost always find a set of all-season mats. I've used a lot of different brands, and I usually just look for the ones that are guaranteed to fit. And I mean, look how nice that looks. This just looks awesome. It's really fun to do these transformations where you start with something really dirty, and after about 10 minutes, it just looks fantastic. And it's also going to be so much easier to clean and take care of in the future. So this is one of those that you just got to take to heart. It doesn't take a lot of work, and man, you get a fantastic result.